I will, okay, I will turn my camera off after I speak, but I'll be there.
Okay. You can go ahead if you wish.
All right. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Paola Sartorio, and I'm the Executive Director of the US-Italy Fulbright Commission. It's a pleasure to welcome our speakers this evening. We are presenting some of our special programs to host Italian Fulbright grantees at US universities. So I would like to thank Professor Long of Georgetown University, who is with us this evening, and Katia Passerini, Mary Kate Ness, and Jonathan Farina of Seton Hall. And later this evening, Professor Ashuban will join us as well. And so I really would like to thank them for being here and promoting our programs. And I would like to thank our audience, our prospective candidates who are interested in an exchange opportunity in the United States. We will present these programs in greater detail. So we hope that our audience today will be interested in our programs and will apply. The deadline for all of these grants is February 28th. So it's the same deadline for all of them, but of course each program has a specific focus and some specific elements that make them different from one another. So without further ado, I would like to give the floor to Professor Long of Georgetown University, and she will present the program we have at Georgetown. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's a real pleasure to have an opportunity to talk to you about our program at Georgetown, which we are very proud of. It's a rather new program through the Fulbright Foundation, but we are very excited and so pleased of what we've accomplished so far. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Georgetown, a little bit about the Center for Child and Human Development, where the Fulbright program is housed. And I'll also tell you a little bit about what you could expect if you came to Georgetown. So as many of you may know, Georgetown University is in Washington, D.C. It is the oldest Catholic and Jesuit university in the United States.
Excuse me, you're not sharing the presentation.
Oh, rat. Okay. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. It's so common. So. Okay, we see it. Great, thank you.
Okay, now you can see it. Great, thank you. So as I was saying, Georgetown is in Washington, D.C., and it is the oldest Catholic and Jesuit university in the United States. And we were founded in 1789, which is the same decade as the U.S. Constitution was developed, and also we are sort of the leader of bringing to, especially to the Washington DC area, but hopefully throughout the world, some really unique capacities as Georgetown students who are guided by our logo of Cura Personalis, in which we believe that all students and all men and women and others should be for others. And we are guided by that principle throughout all our teachings, and which fits so well with the Fulbright program, which we want to create bridges among people throughout the world and share all our information, and to, more importantly, gather information from colleagues throughout the world. Georgetown, as I said, is in DC. It's in the really quaint neighborhood of Georgetown, which has a very long and detailed history, which many of you may be aware of as sort of the area of town where all the rich and famous live. However, many, many years ago, it was the area of town where the working class and actually lower class lived, because they were close to the river where most of the work was done. We have acres and miles of parks and miles for hiking and biking. So for those of you who are active, you can certainly have your full of exploring a beautiful, beautiful region of the country. Those of you who are sports fans, we have all major sports. We have a wonderful baseball team in DC, which was the World Series champions a few years back. And our basketball team, which is also a member of the Big East, like Seton Hall, is on its way up. From several years now, I think that people would say we were on our way down, and we sort of, I think, hit rock bottom, but hopefully we're on our way up again. And Georgetown offers all students, including the Fulbright scholars, opportunities to hear from incredible speakers from all walks of life. Certainly, we get a lot of media stars that come to Georgetown to talk to the students and to the faculty. We also get diplomats and ambassadors and lots of ex-presidents, but we also get movie stars and celebrities like our alum, Bradley Cooper, who was here just a couple of years ago. So the Fulbright, that's a little bit about Georgetown, but the Fulbright program is housed in a very special place at Georgetown called the Center for Child and Human Development. The center has been a part of Georgetown for about 60 years now, and our mission is to improve the quality of life for all children, youth and children with special healthcare needs, children with disabilities, and a whole variety of vulnerable populations. So we offer a whole variety of services and supports and centers within centers as part of the Center for Child and Human Development that our Fulbright scholars can take full advantage of. We have training programs in developmental disabilities. We also have training programs in early intervention. Some of them are online, some of them are in person, and the Fulbright scholars can take advantage of all those kinds of programs. We also have a whole variety of technical assistance centers for children with mental health conditions or behavioral concerns. We work in partnership with a multitude of federal agencies and foundations throughout the world to offer training, support, technical assistance on improving services and supports for the range of vulnerable populations. Our Fulbright program, which I said started about 5 years ago, was funded as a partnership between the National Italian American Foundation and the Fulbright Commission. And the partnership particularly wanted to develop a program that was interested in early childhood. And so they reached out to the Center for Child and Human Development, and we thought that this was a fabulous opportunity to develop a program for folks that we know have a rich reputation of being some of the most accomplished scholars throughout the world. As you know, the Fulbright scholars are highly regarded, and we felt very proud to think that we could be part of their education. The scholars that come to Georgetown are either school teachers or university lecturers or researchers who are interested in early childhood. And I'll tell you about the 3 scholars that we've had so that you can see the breadth of their interests. And they come to Georgetown for a 4 to 6 month period of time. And they live right in the heart of Georgetown usually, and take advantage of all that the center and also Georgetown and Washington, D.C. has to offer. So we've had 3 scholars so far. The pandemic interfered with so much, including 2 years of having Fulbright scholars come to Georgetown. But our first scholar, Ilaria Navarra, was a teacher at the University of Macerata, and she had a particular interest, and still does, in Montessori education. So when she came, she did an exploratory study on comparing the U.S. Montessori programs with the Italian programs, wanting to see if the U.S. programs lived up to the same sort of conditions as the Italian programs, at which she found that we are very, very similar, which actually was a surprise to many of the American Montessori in people who are interested in U.S. Montessori programs. From her relationship with me in the Fulbright program, she is now a teaching assistant with me at a program that Georgetown offers in Fiesole, that we offer a course every summer on educating the young disabled child, and doing it a global looking at it very comparatively throughout the world. And the development of that course that we offer won the 75th anniversary prize of the Italian Fulbright program, which we are very, very proud of. So you can see that coming to one of our universities develops a really long-term relationship with the folks that you work with. It's not just 4 months and you turn around and go home and that's the end. You really do have an opportunity to develop long-term collegial relationships. Our second Fulbright scholar, who was here right at the beginning of the pandemic, was Nadia Ferrante from Milan. And she did a research program, a research project on looking at how the Montessori schools educate children with disabilities. And from her research, we've been able to publish a paper, which is one of the very first papers that really looked at the number and types of children with disabilities that are seen by Montessori, or taught in Montessori programs. And then, as I said, because of the pandemic, we've had those couple of years were lost. But currently, we have a wonderful woman from the University of Genoa, Carlotta Rivella, who is really interested in an older group of students or children. And she is looking at adapting a program that she developed at the University of Genoa on enhancing a self-regulation training for preschool-aged children. So she is now working with a group of colleagues throughout the Washington area and throughout Georgetown on looking how she can adapt that program for a U.S. audience and also for families, because the original program was developed for teachers. So you can see that our Fulbright scholars come from all over, and they're afforded a great deal of opportunities. As I mentioned, if you're a scholar at Georgetown, you are able to take advantage of a variety of learning programs at Georgetown, and being a TA in the course I teach during the spring semester. And you have access to everything Georgetown has to offer, as far as special events, athletic events, any cultural events that Georgetown has. And you not only get to do all those kind of things with and along with Georgetown students, you will learn what a Hoya is. And you have to come to Georgetown to find out what a Hoya is. So I want to thank you and encourage you, if you're an early childhood person, you're a person who's interested in disabilities, that you would look into our program at Georgetown, and we would sort of love to have you part of our world. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Toby. Thank you so much. It was
Hopefully I did my 10 minutes.
yes, sure. It was great, and I was very interested in learning more about this program. So now it's time for Seton Hall Universities. There will be several speakers, but I will give the floor to Katia Passerini. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So we're going to do this as a team, but I wanted to do an introduction and an overview. I'm Katia Passerini, and I've been at Seton Hall for the last 3.5 years. As Professor Long noted before, we are glad to share the floor with Georgetown because we compete in the Big East. In fact, there is a Big East game tonight. And like Georgetown, we are a Catholic university. We are a Catholic diocesan university, so we're very close and connected with, obviously, the Bishop of Newark, as well as the Vatican. This week, I'm actually in Rome for a conference connected to our network of Catholic universities. The vision that we have for this program for us is we are not veterans like Georgetown. We are actually new. This is going to be our first Fulbright that we were able to establish with the support of Dr. Paola Sartorio, with a little creativity on what of the type of partnership that we wanted to set up. I mentioned that we are a Catholic university, and therefore we are very strong and well known for our liberal arts, humanities, obviously ethics and philosophy. That's the core of what we do. If we go to the next slide, you will see that our tagline is that we are a home for the mind, the heart, and the spirit. So we believe deeply in this holistic formation of the students. That creates a very interesting dichotomy between the arts and sciences. And we, with the co-conspirator that I have here in this goal, we started thinking of how do we bring to our universities not only professors and scholars and teachers that are very strong in the arts and humanities, which is our areas of strength, but also scholars who are strong in the sciences and especially in the technology areas, engineering, and what we call in the US, I'm sure you're familiar with the term STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Because our approach to STEM discipline is an approach of looking at the humanities. So we call it STEM humanized or engineering humanized. And we couldn't think about a better place to try to experiment and source scholars than Italy, where you have this passion for arts paired with the passion for invention and innovations. And our goal is to really make sure not only that we attract the best scholars that can help us design this STEM and engineering humanized, but they're also scholars that are able to live through it, so that they're able to embed a very deep knowledge of the discipline, as well as a broad knowledge of the liberal arts and humanities. And so this is not a probably a typical type of focus. So we're very open and we don't look at one discipline, but we really look at someone who is interdisciplinary and cross-disciplinary and can help us design both new areas of research or new areas of teaching that we would like to develop. So if you are interested in this type of experience, I think that Seton Hall is really the place for you. We are the oldest diocesan university in the United States, and there are only 9 or 10 of those in the US. And we're really a welcoming community that it's looking at the future and wants to shape the future in a different way. I will leave you now, my colleagues, to tell you a little bit more of where we are located, our international programs, and then we have, with Dr. Mary Kay Naidus, and then we have Dr. Jonathan Farina, who's actually the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, that will house or be the liaison for some of the programs that we wish to create. So with that, I'm going to pass it to Mary Kay.
Thank you so much, President Passerini. And we are so happy to be able to speak with Italian Fulbright scholars and share a little bit more about Seton Hall University. As you could see in the picture on the bottom, this is our university's campus located in South Orange, New Jersey. And in a few slides, I'll show how close this quiet campus is to New York City. We are a large university. We are a mid-sized university, I should say. We have a small supportive campus. We have very strategic goals to internationalize our campus, which is one of the driving forces behind recruiting a Fulbright scholar, like many of you on the call today. But we do have the benefits of a large research university with amazing support for grants, for international collaborations. Our library facilities are amazing, and it really is a wonderful place to be. We have about 240 international students, and we continue to build that population of students and recruit more. And we send approximately 250 students from Seton Hall to many countries around the world each year for our study abroad programs. We happen, our number one most popular destination for study abroad is Italy. And we also host exchange students from universities on our campus. This is just a little bit of a breakdown of the numbers of students. We are around 10,000, 6,000 undergrad students pursuing bachelor's degrees, and then 4,000 in various graduate programs, which Dean Farina will talk a little bit more about. And we have students and faculty and scholars from over 70 different countries represented on our campus. And we like to highlight that we are 14 miles from New York City. Very easy to get to New York City from our campus via train, bus. I added Uber to this, and also very convenient to arrive by air at several different airports, which you could see there. And there's also great public transportation from right around our campus to get to Washington, D.C. if you want to visit Georgetown, Boston, Philly, and other large cities as well. So this is something that's very attractive to international students, and I imagine could be for international scholars and faculty as well. We have exceptional faculty that you would be able to work with while participating in the program at Seton Hall, very accomplished scholars, authors, practitioners as well. Jonathan will talk a little bit more about some of the specific academic areas. We also have faculty from some of the world's top universities who are open and collaborative and could be part of your research agenda if you select to come to Seton Hall for your Fulbright experience. And these are just a sampling of student outcomes in both our undergraduate and graduate programs across a variety of disciplines. And one of the advantages, not only that we have successful students when they go out into the world, is that these are our network of alumni. They serve as guest speakers. They help to open doors for our students for jobs and internships. And we also have a variety of interesting industry university collaborations, which we're happy to answer questions about, but we want to stay focused on the Fulbright for now. Some of the details, and you just heard from President Passerini, this was a quote when she was extremely excited to launch the program at Seton Hall. And as she mentioned in the introduction, our focus areas for this particular position are in the technology areas, including not limited to computer science, engineering, and some of those STEM fields, which Dean Farina will talk about. They will have teaching and research components. I think we selected, you can choose a semester or 2 semesters for this experience. And there is a story link there, which we can share separately about Seton Hall launching the Fulbright program and how there's a lot of excitement generated about that as well. And I'm going to pass it along to my colleague, Jonathan Farina, Dean of Arts and Sciences at Seton Hall University.
Thank you, Mary Kate, and hello, everybody. We're very excited about this program because we're looking at the Fulbright position as one that can help energize two of our initiatives in STEM and in cyber. So the College of Arts and Sciences is our largest college, and here's the array of graduate programs we currently have, which includes PhD programs in chemistry, molecular bioscience, and master's degree in data science, chemistry, biology, and applied physics and engineering, which is our newest and most exciting degree. We're also looking to start a master's in computer engineering, and we'd be particularly interested in computer engineers with experience who'd like to come and help be a part of shaping that initial curriculum to be really something distinct and unique in our area. So again, the applied physics and engineering and the computer engineering areas are two of our most appealing places for Fulbrights. But all of those six programs are interdisciplinary and have lots of overlap. So we have a great deal of interest in material science, particularly in coatings and in green energy. So a lot of our chemists and biologists and physicists work together. All of them use informatics. And so computer scientists who are interested in working with our chemists or biologists or physicists on these interdisciplinary projects would all be very appealing. We have substantial grants in both biology and in chemistry, and we have a long relationship with NASA, the space programs, through our Department of Physics. So there's lots of opportunities for visiting scholars to interact with the United States scientific community beyond our campus through NASA and through these grants. I will also add that the United States Cybercom, the Cyber Command of the United States Army, has an academic outreach program. We are members of that program. There are monthly seminars led by the U.S. Military Cyber Command, to which we are invited to learn about the cutting-edge cybersecurity. So this could be an appealing place for a Fulbright scholar to be involved in that kind of seminar and the networks to which it offers access. We have a couple exciting initiatives. Mary Kate, if you could just pop to the next slide. Related to this. So we've got three ongoing full-time faculty hires in the area of artificial intelligence, two in computer science, and one actually in philosophy and artificial intelligence. As Dr. Passerini mentioned, we really like to integrate the arts and sciences together in meaningful ways. And you can see that in that philosophy hire. We're interested in not just how people can use AI creatively, but also how they can use it ethically to make society better and lives better for people. We have just renovated our cyber lab. We are reinvesting in a robotics team. Like I said, we are creating an MS in computer engineering and looking for accreditation in our BS in computer science, which is a highly popular program. We're also expanding our cybersecurity certificate on the undergraduate level into a minor and integrating it on the graduate level with a degree in international and homeland security. So there's flexibility in what this Fulbright scholar would be able to do. Obviously, they would participate in their own research projects and be able to teach courses, but we would also be interested in giving them credit for just participating in curriculum development in these new programs. Here's just a quick overview of our current certificate in cybersecurity, which includes a class in organizational behavior and psychology. And if you could just move a slide or two on, Mary Kate, one of the other areas besides arts and sciences where there'd be a lot of interest perhaps is in the Stillman School of Business. We currently have an IT management degree. We are interested in innovating that program into something more along the lines of an information security management degree. So visiting faculty with interest in information security on the managerial front would also be appealing to us.
Okay. That was great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you very much. So I don't see Professor Shuban from Florida Polytechnic University, so I'm going to share my presentation, and I will also talk about Florida Polytechnic University. So let's see. Okay. I will switch in Italian just to say to the audience that con questa diapositiva io vi vorrei anticipare alcuni contenuti che sono importanti, soprattutto se avete intenzione di fare domanda, perché noi abbiamo visto quali sono i programmi per la Georgetown University e Seton Hall, però ci sono anche dei criteri per partecipare e quindi sono dei requisiti necessari per poter candidarsi proprio. Intanto è necessario avere la cittadinanza italiana e aver conseguito almeno un titolo accademico italiano. Dopodiché, in realtà è necessario per questi bandi avere anche un dottorato di ricerca. Per tutti i bandi che avete visto e che io andrò a ricapitolare, è importante avere affiliazione italiana, ma è possibile avere anche un'affiliazione europea. E per quanto riguarda, diciamo, altre esperienze di studio negli Stati Uniti, qualora aveste già conseguito un titolo accademico statunitense, non potreste partecipare. Nel caso di questi bandi, componenti cliniche, cioè contatti con persone ed animali, non credo che ve ne siano. Sappiate che qualora ve ne fossero, ma non credo proprio, dovreste confrontarvi prima con la commissione per sapere se è un progetto fattibile. Quando si tratta di diventare borsisti Fulbright ci sono anche dei benefit, oltre al finanziamento che poi vedremo per ogni singola università. Ci sono dei benefit che sono un contributo alle spese di viaggio, l'esenzione di tutte le spese che servono per emettere il visto, perché si entra negli Stati Uniti con il visto J1, viene erogata e finanziata dal Dipartimento di Stato un'assicurazione sanitaria e poi si entra a far parte di un network internazionale come Fulbright, un network dove ci sono colleghi, ricercatori, insegnanti, anche studenti che provengono da oltre 150 paesi nel mondo, per cui è un modo per conoscere quello che succede all'interno del network, ma anche per farsi conoscere, per creare contatti, soprattutto per progetti, visto che sono rappresentati quasi tutti i campi di studio esistenti, potremmo dire. E il network funziona, diciamo, è in comunicazione i partecipanti, gli ex borsisti, grazie ad una app che si chiama Fulbrighter, che ha un'interfaccia simile a quella di Facebook e forse per età abbiamo familiarità con Facebook, quindi è anche facile da usare. Il concorso che la professoressa Long ci ha presentato è il concorso appunto Fulbright, NIAF-Georgetown, e in particolar modo quest'anno il campo di studio riguarda l'iperattività, il deficit dell'attenzione. Possono partecipare sia assegnisti di ricerca, sia ricercatori a tempo determinato e indeterminato, in questo caso per questo concorso anche degli insegnanti di scuola. Si tratta di soggiornare per minimo 4 mesi, scusate, massimo 6 mesi, con un inizio quando iniziano appunto i loro semestri, nel fall, quindi si tratta di agosto e settembre, o nello spring, che l'inizio è sempre gennaio. Questo è l'importo del finanziamento, che può arrivare fino a $13.000 a seconda della lunghezza del soggiorno, più quelli che sono i benefit che abbiamo visto prima. Andrei avanti, poi torno indietro all'ultima che ci manca. Quindi questo poi è il concorso con Seton Hall che abbiamo visto che è stato appena lanciato. Qui nel dettaglio trovate quali sono i campi di studio richiesti. E in questo caso non sono presenti gli assegnisti di ricerca, ma ricercatori universitari, professori associati e anche ordinari e professori a contratto con incarico didattico. Si tratta anche in questo caso di stare dei mesi, in particolar modo proprio la durata di un semestre completo, e si può partire verso agosto, fine agosto-settembre del 2024 o a gennaio del 2025. L'importo che viene finanziato dipende appunto dal periodo in cui si rimane negli Stati Uniti, si parte per gli Stati Uniti, scusatemi, più i benefit che abbiamo visto. Mentre l'ultimo concorso per il quale non è arrivato lo speaker, quindi ve lo presento io, ed è un'opportunità di una Fulbright Research Scholarship in Engineering. L'università è la Florida Polytechnic University e come vedete questi sono in rosso i campi di studio. È abbastanza simile a livello di caratteristiche rispetto al concorso che abbiamo appena visto, comunque lo ripeto, ricercatori universitari, professori associati e anche ordinari o professori a contratto. È molto, cioè, diciamo che è proprio simile, perché anche qui si può soggiornare per un intero semestre che può avere inizio ad agosto, settembre del 2024 o gennaio del 2025. L'ultimo concorso per il quale non avremmo avuto comunque degli speaker si chiama ICSI, perché la ricerca in questo caso si va a fare all'International Computer Science Institute, che è un'istituzione affiliata all'Università di Berkeley. Diciamo ha delle caratteristiche piuttosto precise perché è destinata ad assegnisti di ricerca che abbiano anche ottenuto un dottorato recente e si può soggiornare per 6 mesi e l'inizio del soggiorno deve avvenire tra settembre del 2024 e maggio 2025. Quindi se si inizia a maggio del 2025 si svolgerà per tutta la seconda parte dell'anno. Vedete qual è l'importo che viene finanziato più i benefit. Vi posso presentare la borsista Eleonora Losiuk, che è stata presso ICSI tra il 2020 e il 2021, e non vi leggo quello di cui si occupa perché diciamo so che il progetto si chiama DART, però ecco, spiegarlo a me non risulta facile, infatti le indicazioni sono sulla diapositiva. E per partecipare a questi concorsi intanto bisogna presentare un progetto di ricerca, bisogna procurarsi 3 lettere di raccomandazione e a livello di certificazione linguistica è consigliabile presentarla, diciamo non è obbligatorio ma è consigliabile, e ci si aspetta che i candidati abbiano un'ottima conoscenza della lingua inglese. In realtà tutta la documentazione deve essere caricata online aprendo un account e c'è un documento che per noi è cruciale, che sono le IIE Instructions, che praticamente sono la guida alla compilazione della domanda online. Si carica tutta la documentazione, si chiude l'application, alla chiusura dell'application bisogna salvare l'application proof, che è un documento in PDF, e si scarica proprio sul vostro computer, mentre poi, chiusa l'application e salvata l'application proof, è necessario inviare un'email a fulbright@fulbright.it. I documenti da inviare sono la scheda del candidato, l'application checklist ed eventuali altri documenti che sono poi indicati nelle II instructions, ma dipende dai candidati. Un aspetto che per noi è molto importante sottolineare è il plagio. Quando compilerete la candidatura dovrete diciamo anche sottoscrivere che appunto nella vostra candidatura non ci insomma è tutta scritta di vostro pugno, che sembra abbastanza ovvio, ma noi lo dobbiamo ripetere perché ci sono stati vari casi di plagio. Abbiamo quasi un record europeo e questo ci dispiace molto perché vengono fatti dei controlli molto severi e avere una minima percentuale di plagio su un solo documento esclude il candidato e noi vogliamo che questo non succeda. Per cui il personal statement, come anche il progetto di ricerca o le lettere di raccomandazione sono, abbiamo verificato, più soggette a questo fenomeno. E quindi attenzione a chi ve le scrive, attenzione al progetto di ricerca, bisogna sempre citare le proprie fonti. E infatti per diventare borsisti, una volta che dopo l'invio della documentazione venite convocati per il colloquio, anche qualora veniste nominati non potete considerare la nomina come definitiva, perché la selezione della commissione subisce, diciamo, i documenti dei candidati che vengono selezionati dalla commissione subiscono un controllo del plagio con dei software molto avanzati. Dopodiché, se si supera il controllo del plagio, bisogna avere la propria nomina approvata dal board Fulbright e solo quando anche il board si pronuncia a favore del candidato arriva la comunicazione alla commissione che quindi poi parlerà con voi candidati. Abbiamo rinnovato recentemente il sito, quindi questo è l'ordine con cui appaiono adesso i bandi e cliccando sul bando, su ogni singolo bando, poi vi ritroverete una schermata come questa con tutta la documentazione necessaria per presentare domanda di ammissione. Quello che a noi, scusate, questi file poi li potete o consultare al computer o scaricarli direttamente. Quello che ci preme dire è il Fulbright Mentoring, che è un'opportunità che c'è da vari anni e che consiste nel poter consultare ex borsisti che sono a disposizione dei candidati per la preparazione della domanda di ammissione Fulbright. Se voi cliccate sul Fulbright Mentoring si apre un PDF con una lista di ex borsisti con le loro email, sono divisi per campo di studio. Chiaramente non è possibile rappresentare tutti i campi di studio, però ci sono dei borsisti in verde che sono quelli aperti a tutte le discipline. Quindi c'è modo di preparare una forte candidatura tramite noi del servizio informazioni che ci adoperiamo però a livello un po' più generale. Per le domande più specifiche, più legate al campo di studio e al progetto di ricerca, ci sono i mentor. Per parlare con il servizio informazioni, la chiocciola è info@fulbright.it, molto facile da ricordare, e vi ricordo prima di chiudere che se avete delle domande è il momento questo di sottoporle. C'è il box domande, potete anche lasciarle in anonimo, vedo che ce n'è già una. Io quindi interrompo la condivisione, vado a vedere se Florida Poli è riuscita a collegarsi, non li vedo, e per cui andrei a leggere le domande sollecitandovi a scriverle. Ok, la domanda è se oggi si parla del Research Scholar All Disciplines. No, perché quel concorso oltretutto scadrà sempre il 5 febbraio. Oggi parliamo degli altri concorsi, che sono, diciamo, concorsi che hanno dei campi di studio più specifici. Lasciamo di lato l'All Discipline per oggi. So I was telling the audience to write their questions because that's the time, but I don't see any questions. The one that they asked, okay, we're done with it. And feel free to add information if you wish. There's still time until the end of the event. Okay, there's a question about sharing the slides. We will share this. You mean the slides or the presentation itself? We will share the presentation. We will share on our social media and also with our speakers. Is it okay if we share the presentation on our social media?
Yes.
Okay.
Like
that there's still time to talk about these competitions. Avete domande? Per favore, scrivetele. We are always shy, but I believe that there will be questions. There were a lot of information, so let's see.
Se posso fare un commento, if there are questions, so the reason why there is 3 of us here is, you know, we're welcome to answer any questions on specific areas of interest. I don't know if that's part of the process, but we're happy to keep the Fulbright appraised on, you know, on those discussions. And if we were not clear, you should feel free to connect with Mary Kate, Jonathan, and myself.
Yeah, same with me. And I just wanted to add that I was very fortunate to receive a Fulbright senior scholar twice actually, and I hope to get another one. And I have to say, being part of the Fulbright program is really, really a wonderful, wonderful experience. As I think Laura mentioned, it really does, you do develop a whole network of colleagues that no matter if you are a Fulbright scholar coming right out of college, or a senior scholar, or did one of the other kinds of Fulbright programs that are offered, it really does provide an incredible sort of feeling of camaraderie with all sorts of professionals throughout the world. So if you have any hesitations about applying for one of these, I really encourage you to go for it. It's a wonderful, wonderful experience.
Thank you so much for emphasizing the aspect of the network. There's a question that, let's see if you all can answer. It's about the accommodation. If grantees are helped during, you know, about this issue, do they receive some help from you or maybe some extra money? I don't think so.
I can tell you the experience at Georgetown. Housing is a little bit tough, and I'm unable to do a great deal of help on securing housing other than giving you ideas. However, Nadia, Ilaria, and Carlotta, I'm sure, Nadia and Ilaria have been very, very helpful to Carlotta on understanding the parameters of how much, you know, you have to spend and where to look for places in the Georgetown area. So I'm sure that at Seton Hall, they probably have some resources also. Because I don't have access to those resources at the university because I'm at the Center for Child and Human Development. It's really a sort of a personal kind of thing that I will help the student secure part-time or housing, which can be difficult in Georgetown.
Okay, good to know. And what about Seton Hall?
Yes, I'm happy to. We have obviously a system to support finding of housing. It depends very much also from the preference of the scholars. A lot of the scholars who come might wish to try to find an accommodation in Manhattan as opposed to South Orange, and there are areas obviously in New Jersey, so we're about 14 miles. If you get close to a train station, it's probably the best option is to be commuting back and forth. But sometimes, it depends on preferences, maybe commuting to the university as opposed to commuting from the university to the city. But we certainly have a list of available accommodations. We also have campuses. Our main campus is in South Orange, but our law school, for example, is located in Newark, next to the train station that gets you to the World Trade Center, and the housing stock is very large. In terms of support, it really depends. Maybe at the beginning of the stay, there is an opportunity to see if there is, an opportunity available while the scholars are looking for housing. That really depends on when we are and what is available back there. So, but certainly opportunities to find the best locations, depending on preferences, we're happy to help there.
I know from the first time when Ilaria came in 2018, it was a little bit more difficult. Now with Airbnb and so many other sort of long-term rental kinds of schemes, it's much easier to find a place. And especially, and it also depends if you're coming alone and you're a young person like Carlotta is, or a family. When Ilaria came, she came with her husband and child, and also then ended up having another child while she was here. But so she needed a little bit more space in a community where a family could be.
Thank you. I don't see other questions. So is there something that you would like to add before we finish?
No, I think I can step in and just wrap up this session. First of all, I want to say to our audience that we are available for your questions in preparing your application. So whatever is unclear to you or you feel you need guidance for, we're always there and happy to support you throughout your application process. This is obviously a service we offer free of charge, and so please feel free to reach out for any question you may have about the programs, about the application itself, whatever the question may be. I would like to thank our speakers. Thank you very much for being here this evening and for your commitment to the Fulbright program. We are very grateful to you, and we know that, well, in the case of Georgetown, we've already had some scholars, and I know that they all have had a wonderful experience, both personally and professionally, and we are absolutely confident that our future scholars at Seton Hall will have an equally rewarding experience. So we very much look forward to working with all of you in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you,
night, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.